Hi, welcome back to the channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe so I can keep making some great footage for you guys. Today I'm going to be talking about my 23 Yukon XL At4. It's the Premium Plus package. It's pretty much loaded as much as any of the Denali's on the line, but I love in particular the front end of this thing. Looks killer. Definitely have a lot of nicknames around, everybody thinking it's a cop or a SWAT vehicle. But as you can tell, with everything blacked out, I don't blame people for getting a little freaked out sometimes when I pull up. But as you can see, some of the first things I did had involved vinyl wrapping and tinting everything I could. I need to redo the windshield and a few other things. It was the first time I ever done window tint. Well, I guess I did when I was like 16. It's been quite a while. But I decided with this to go with, even though it's not recommended for front headlight use in particular, I believe it's Luxe makes this. I can look it up if any of you are interested in doing something similar to this, front or rear. But it has the carbon fiber appearance. Because of that weave though, it scatters the light. So I really don't recommend doing this, even though it looks awesome. I don't do a ton of night driving with this. If I have a night drive, I'm gonna take this one back here. Don't want to take any unnecessary risks with this. But also I went with the dark smoke tint for the main headlight beams. And I'm sure, as you can imagine, that's a terrible thing to do if you plan on night driving. The headlights are absolutely horrible, and they look super cool when they're running. I'll flick them on here in a second too. But couple that with the tint, I had to take the tint off. I got pulled over recently and I just tore it off in front of the cops, so I didn't have to deal with a fix-it ticket or anything. But I had 35% on the windshield. As you can see now, it's back to factory. I have a few rolls of tint. I went with the pre-cut this time. Normally I just, the last time I did this thing, I cut everything myself and just figured I'd save some time, but I got some wrap and tint, both stuff for headlights and windows there. But I'll be doing the same, 35% on the windshield, 5% brow. I had a window or two, the kids kind of peeled up, you know, so I'm gonna be redoing probably this rear side window too with 15%. If you guys want to see videos on me redoing some of that tint work, I don't mind filming the process. It's pretty straightforward as long as you take your time on the outsides of the windows, clean everything good, get everything to shape. But I also did down here my fog lights with the carbon fiber. Same thing, I mean, it just looks awesome. This is my first grill ever doing with the wrap, so I didn't do inlays because I kind of just assumed whether I did them or not, I was gonna mess up somewhere and not be happy in the long run. So I tried to just do it all in one piece just to see how good it would lay and how much leeway I can get away with for when I redo this to get the inlays. But with this At4 already having the black chrome package, it was okay because any little spot I missed, you can't really tell so much like down in here because it's not shiny. The black chrome helps hide the mistakes I knew I'd make that I'll fix later on. Definitely one of the most noticeable things about this vehicle, and throws everybody off. Nobody knows what the hell this thing is going down the road. Even though I think the body shape should really give it away, but I debadged everything. So I ripped off the whole emblems and all the crap that went along with that, as you can tell. And I made myself a factory plate for the front that covered everything up, and I had, you know, the cutout for the logos. And I made plates on the top, and you can see where I missed the wrap. I had to make a couple little plates to fill in some spots here. But in the end, it was definitely worth the little bit extra work because it looks pretty sick. I love how this thing looks. I wish I could see it driving down the road more, like catch it kind of candid to get the full effect of how neat this thing really looks being all black on black. But I'll take you on here too. I did the side marker on here was a bright orange light. Looks stupid. This looks 1,000 times better. I recommend anybody put something on that just to cover it up. It looks so much cleaner down the side of this vehicle than having big gaudy orange piece there. I also vinyl wrapped my rims. It had, you can see along the edge I had to do it. It was all black custom painted or from the factory already here. So I just covered up any silver, did the center cap. I should have took the lug nuts off to do it, but I just kind of got the vinyl on there just to cover up the shiny chrome. I've actually taken these wheels and tires off. I had a flat recently and I had to do it, and just other things monkeying with it. And somehow the vinyl stays on even when you're wrenching on it. Pretty impressed for kind of just half-assed doing it on there. I'm down here on the ground. I'll show you the front. I don't think many people are going to be wrapping or messing with this part of the vehicle, but I thought to get that total look I was going for with the full blackout, I got rid of, or I shouldn't say got rid of, I wrapped the tow hooks as best I could without removing them. You can't see any of the red from any normal position above. I think that looks super duper cool. I removed and smoothed where the factory front license plate would have been. Here in Michigan, I don't have to have a front plate, so I immediately took that off. Filled and painted the holes. I should have took my time, did a little better on that. I am pretty good at paint body work, but I wasn't too concerned with it. But anyways, I also did down here this front skid plate, which would normally be like a chrome appearance, which I didn't like. I'm sure you see it going down the road, you know what I'm talking about. And then I also did the skid plate underneath with all the carbon fiber Tek wrap. It's been on about a year. I did it pretty close to getting this vehicle. It looks great. I've also done the running boards with the carbon wrap. And on this model, they are the nice fold downs. So as you can see, they look pretty sweet. I talked with Vvivid before I did this, and they said, don't do it. It's not gonna last. But I did it at the end of last August. So it's been pretty much a year to the day, pretty much, that I did this, and even the brackets, all with the carbon fiber wrap. I did have the rockers done too, the whole way front to rear, but those came off after about 8 months, car wash and stuff. I knew that was gonna fail. You're not supposed to do textured unpainted plastics, but when it was my first time doing the wrap, I did it just solely as an experiment. I didn't care if it came off. It's not like a big dollar amount worth of vinyl. Yeah, it's a long piece, but it's really not like big if you're, you know, buying enough to do a vehicle at a time like I did. But love everything about this At4. I'm not gonna go into stuff on the interior today. If you guys wanna see that, let me know. But also did my little buttons here that were chrome, just to help with the blackout effect. I added that, as you just probably seen there, the transparent film for the carbon. And I'll click the front on here so you can get a view of kind of more like the light should be. You know, you can see it through it plenty good. I'll do more on probably the headlight tail light combo later, because I'm sure people are going to be interested, because this look is just killer. Also with the carbon fiber wrap, I did my windshield wipers and this cowl section. Kind of same thing with that. I wasn't expecting that to last being unpainted. I wouldn't mind if I had to paint it. It's simple, but I kind of just wanted to see how it worked. And you know, it looks great after a year, and it's not something many people are going to see. It was a pain in the ass to do that part, probably more so than about anywhere, but looks good. I did have these areas done on both sides, but it's like a rubber coat, and that failed within probably 3 months. Didn't last long, but like I said again, I wasn't expecting it. Also did these little roof rail things up here that were just like a cheap plastic look. Just, I think that looks a lot cleaner and nicer. Even though people aren't gonna like notice that in particular, overall, it brings in the look of the vehicle. One thing I love about this At4 is this part here is actually glass. Kind of looks like it's part of the metal framework of the vehicle. It's not. When you're inside, it gives you a great view of everything. As we come around to the back, you can see I did the same, the taillight tint with the carbon wrap. Looks absolutely beautiful on this thing. I've had no issues up here in Michigan, Wisconsin with police on this stuff at all. Every once in a while I have an issue with the window tint on the vehicles. I think it's more so I just want to see who's driving or something, but never got a ticket for it. I just put it back on, no big deal. But also with the vinyl, I replaced this whole, or I shouldn't say replace, I covered this whole piece back here. As you can see, very beautiful. That Type R carbon from Vvivid is just, it's wonderful stuff, easy to work with. If you've never done vinyl, it's very forgiving. At the time I was doing this, just, you know, a few weeks after I got this vehicle, I was doing the wraps. It was parked in front of my house. We have a business here. I don't usually leave it out there. And any of my vehicles, and one of our clients rear-ended it on accident, and $3,600 in damage on the rear, most of it coming from this thing had a full stainless single exhaust on it. So because it was a little tweaked, they didn't want to take a chance that there'd be a micro crack leaking exhaust fumes up in the vehicle. So the GM decided to replace it. That was like $1,700, I think, for just replacing the exhaust when this was all cracked and busted through. But I wanted to wrap this, and I eventually will either paint it a gloss black, or I'm gonna probably paint it gloss black and then wrap it. More like this carbon to kind of bring in the carbon everywhere. Up here, might be a little harder to see, that third brake light, also with the transparent carbon on it. But love the look. I'm glad I'm not getting messed with by the cops, because at this point I would just be devastated to have to take this black off and go back to the ugly ass red. I did at very first, like the first week I got this, I used that spray like plasti dip stuff. Don't recommend that. Definitely get film, wrap them properly. Looks better, it's shiny, it looks beautiful, easier to remove. Just plasti dip, unless you put tons of layers, it's a real pain to get off of anything. Haven't done anything as far as like performance on this vehicle. Everything you've seen has been like cosmetic, mainly wraps and stuff. But I did change the exhaust. This has the 6.2 engine in it, and as you can see, it has the quad exhaust here. I decided to keep the tips when I changed everything, just because they look fine. Moving up really isn't much bigger. It's not gonna make much change. Even though everything's black on here, I think that keeping those stainless tips just kind of set it off for some reason. If you guys think I should paint them black, match everything else, or get carbon ones, let me know. Or if you think that stainless is killer with the black on black, let me know that too. I'm curious to know what everybody thinks about this thing. But anyways, I have up here in the main section, it's 3.5 inch. I cut off the stock muffler and put on a Valvetronic valve muffler. It has a vacuum actuated motor that I wired right in. It connects to a power source in the fuse panel. You just use a little piggyback tap to get into it. So I'm able to open and close the valve so it sounds anytime I want. So at like idle, it has a near stock sound, just with more tone. And then when you open it up, it's definitely much more aggressive, straight piped. Besides that, I have the factory cats. I did remove the resonators in the rear. There was one on each side. I don't know how much difference that really makes in the end. There's not really, when you have the valves closed, there's no drone going down the highway or anything. But when you have them open, it's definitely loud in the vehicle going down the highway. You know there's exhaust on it. Sounds great, I love it. Startup's killer. I guess I'll fire up here in a little bit. It'd be 67-degree cold start. Nothing too crazy, but I'll let you get a little bit of how that V8 sounds. as you can tell there, great sounding engine, great sounding exhaust system. I definitely highly recommend it to anybody who wants to keep the wife a little happy, but also be able to enjoy a little bit of time behind the pedal like I do. Can't resist getting on any chance I can. Hopefully the rest of you guys out there like that too. Let's see. So I guess the only real main thing I'm forgetting on this thing would be future plans. I would like eventually to do wheels and tires. I mean, I feel like that's a must on anything. I'm not sure if I want to go something similar to the truck where it's big wheel, big tire. You know, it's hard with the Yukon not to just slam it. Luckily for me, I kind of planned ahead a bit with this and got lucky. I have the air suspension package. So I right now can go from entry exit level, and then when you drive it goes up 1 inch automatically. I can set it to go 1 inch higher than that if I'm going speeds under 45, and then if I'm going under 30 I can put in 4 low, and I can gain an additional inch out of this as it is. But there's some link kits. I won't be able to show you right now with how I have it set up here. I should have took a video when I had the tire popped off the other day when I had a flat, but there's a very simple little link kit. It takes about 5 minutes to install them, to remove old ones, put them in. But you can trick these airbag sensors on these new vehicles, and you can either get 2.5, 3 inch additional lift in the vehicle while maintaining those settings of the height settings that the vehicle has, or I can go down the 2.5 to 3 inches. So I have pretty big room for, you know, some modification changes. The lift link's only like $200 to be able to change it 3 inches either way. Pretty awesome. You know, it's almost like having like a 5-inch lift in this truck. If I was to set the bags the whole way up, plus add that extra bit, you know, this thing would be sitting pretty close to what this Titan does here. And I had to modify my door frame to get this thing in. It does clear 7 feet, but it's tight. Got to be careful where you're going. But anyways, that's the quick exterior overview on my 23 Yukon At4. If there's any more content you guys want to see on this, let me know. I'll try to make what you guys want to see right away. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep doing similar stuff like this until I see what works. Thanks for coming by. Please subscribe.